everybody. Welcome to the Andrew Weissman Show. I'm Andrew Weissman, and we're broadcasting live from our studios in Miami Beach. And this is a special broadcast of a special episode, as we have a very special guest. And I guess we're just going to go right to it. And of course, our special guest is none other than our founder, the president and CEO of Our Business, Market America Worldwide, and Shop.com. It's J.R. Ridinger.
Why is that special?
Well, because you are special.
Thank you.
Do you think? So welcome, and thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule, JR, to be a guest on the Andrew Weissman Show. Everybody's really excited to have you on the show, and as am I. So
I'm glad to be here, but I'm trying to figure out, are you Jimmy Fallon, or are you the guy from The Soup?
This is the original. Speaking to the original, JR.
The original. This is the original Andrew Weissman Show.
And you're on
I'm very honored to be here, seriously.
Well, we're happy to have you.
This is the perfect role for you.
You think so?
Yes.
Well, thank you for making the platform available. So let's just dive right in. We have a lot that we want to talk about. We're going to talk about a lot of things, whether it be entrepreneurship, life in general, success, business, and you've experienced a lot in your life, a lot of success. People, from the outside, looking in, would see everything that you have, the lifestyle that you lead, boats, houses, travel, this, that, and the other. And a lot of people would think, why not just chill out? You know what I mean? But you don't just chill out. Why is that?
Well, first of all, I am chilled out. You didn't know that, did you? It does not appear that I'm chilled out.
Right.
But, I really believe that to enjoy life, you have to be doing what you love. And some people perceive that as work, and they call me a workaholic.
Right.
And I say, you might be wrong. I think I'm a playaholic, because when I'm working, I'm really playing. It's fun. I enjoy it.
There's a blurred line, right, between work and play.
Right, it's definitely blurred, and you've seen it.
Right.
But we work hard and we play hard. But why not? Why chill out? Because look, if you're a boxer and you're going for the title, you don't want to chill out before you get the title. If you're going for the Super Bowl, you don't want to chill out before you win the Super Bowl.
Right, that's true.
If you're an Olympian, you want to get the gold medal.
Right.
I want to change the way people shop. I want to change the economic paradigm of this world so that the disenfranchised can create their own economy and become financially independent.
Right.
The problem is I believe it.
And you're doing it.
Right.
It's happening. No,
Right.
It's awesome. Somebody said, I think the quote is, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah, you
right?
got that right.
I think you've proven that. Of course, as an entrepreneur, as a business person, you achieve certain stepping stones, right? Toward your ultimate goal. When do you think is a good time to reward yourself for success?
Well, we've rewarded ourselves all along. It's kind of like climbing a mountain or a ladder. As you progress and achieve certain things, the rewards kind of come naturally.
Right.
They become kind of transparent. I never really went after material things, but all of a sudden, we were succeeding and we had money, and Lauren says, we're going to get that and we're going to get this. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Sure. But you can't reward yourself unless you have the ability to reward yourself.
Right.
So you have to achieve first.
Right.
But I think that's why you work hard. So.
Well, during the time of achieving that success, climbing the ladder, there's a lot of, as any entrepreneur would experience, any business person would experience in building a business, starting from scratch, there's obstacles, there's challenges to overcome, there's problems, right? If you don't have problems, you're not in business. It's just part of the environment, part of the landscape, But what prevents you or prevents any entrepreneur, successful business person from throwing in the towel? What do you think, because there's always stuff that comes your way that you have to overcome or work through or navigate through or solve, right, with problems. What just prevents you from just throwing in the towel sometimes? Not just you personally, but I think just in general, as any entrepreneur, successful person.
Probably to answer that, you say what prevents you, I would answer that with what causes you to throw in the towel. And what causes you to throw in the towel is not believing in the dream or not believing that it's possible and listening to other people. You learn early on, no one wants you to make it.
Yeah.
And don't be fooled to think that they do. They rather discourage you so that their own mediocrity is never challenged. Very rarely will someone encourage you when you tell them that you're going for, success. But what prevents you from throwing in the towel? Knowing what your why is and that what you're doing can make it a reality. You just can't have a why.
Right.
You have to know that what I'm doing will take me there. And you need to figure out how, because doubt is what kills you. When people say, oh, that won't work, well, you need to know why it will work. And, every time something goes wrong, sometimes you get, they call it discouraged. Well, the problems are actually the stepping stones that take us there.
So you welcome those problems, don't you? Yeah.
Right, because that's how you figure it out. That's
right.
how you get there.
That's a great perspective. Most people don't have that kind of perspective, but you eat problems for breakfast. I've heard you say that before.
Right.
You know what I mean? You just keep moving forward.
If you have big dreams, you're going to have big problems.
Right. Jerry, you're busy. You're a busy guy. With your family, with social media. You have a lot of friends coming in town, out of town, just contacting you. How do you not get distracted? How do you continue to meet deadlines? What keeps you focused and on the straight course to?
Well, I got to confess, I don't know if I'm that good at it. I try hard. We live a very, very busy life. We collect people as our hobby. Some people collect art. Some people collect money. Some people collect cars. Some people we collect people. So we have a collection of incredible, interesting entrepreneurs and artists and people, and it's great. But the business always comes first, and I don't know if I have the answer to that, because it's a race against time. This is a very interesting question, and I'm challenged with it right now.
Right.
So it's a race against time. I'm always trying to pack 10 pounds of sugar in a 5-pound bag, trying to get more done than can possibly be done. When I go on a trip or go somewhere, I pack so much stuff that I think I'm going to get to work on that I don't even come close to.
I've seen the extra suitcases and boxes that follow you.
Just in case I can get to it. So what happens is I've been doing this I've been entrepreneurially for my whole life, 30, 40 years. I don't want to tell you how old I am, but I have never completed my list once, not once. In fact, the way the list shortens is some of the stuff gets so old it's no longer relevant. But and people will tell you that they know how to do time management. They're all liars. Anybody that's driven, the things that you need to do and want to do multiply faster than you can possibly do them. So you have to prioritize. You have to keep lists. You can't remember them all. Then you try to systemize, you try to delegate, and then you start over. Right. And it's just a matter of packing in as much as you can. But my key is I do the most important thing or the hardest thing first every day. Because every day you're going to get sidetracked. Something's going to happen. Something's going to go wrong. Something fun is going to interfere. And so that's my, I think it kind of works, because you do the most important thing or the hardest thing first, then you advance on the game board to your goal.
Well, one of our previous guests was Lauren Ridinger, right? And she said the same thing: get the most difficult, most challenging task out of the way, at the very beginning of the day. So I think maybe you duplicated.
Well, I taught her everything, right? I know, and she does it better than me.
Congratulations, congratulations. So, JR, what is something that you enjoy? What is something you enjoy doing that people wouldn't really expect that you would enjoy doing?
Well, I don't know what they know about me. So, I'm really kind of a strange person. I love yoga.
Right.
I love to run. I love to ski. I love to wrestle. Although there's not many people to wrestle with except Anthony, and after a while it's an exercise of futility because you whip his butt every single time. But
Anthony, he does win every time. Don't kid yourself.
But I don't know if people know that. I don't know what they know about me. What do you think that I like to do
Well, not too many people know that you were. I mean, you were ranked what, number 1 or number 2 in the nation when you were wrestling at the collegiate level.
Number 5.
Oh, number 5. But you were right there. To possibly even be in the Olympic team. Was that true?
I was pervertedly motivated. I mean, it was wrestling is a perversion.
When the new movie you said, I haven't seen it yet. What's the Foxcatcher?
Yeah, that's a good movie. That I think that captures what wrestlers are about. Very, very well. And also very interesting about a dynasty family of very wealthy people that almost think that they're royal, that get removed from reality. It's quite interesting.
I still need to see the movie, but that would be the one thing, being that how you were nationally ranked and really pretty much at the top there.
Oh, I got beat though.
Well, you got beat by Dan Gable though.
Yeah,
Dan Gable was one of the best ever.
The bottom line is, I didn't go all the way. I got beat. So every time I think about Market America, I'm not letting that happen again.
Well, that's obvious. We're 24 years. We've been doing pretty well. JR, what's different about the JR Ridinger 20 years ago compared to the JR Ridinger today?
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
No.
Not one
passion.
thing?
Okay, I'm a little bit, I choose my battles better.
Okay.
I choose my battles better, but same passion. If you worked with me, you're going to see it.
Right. Your passion, you mean?
Passion.
Oh,
I mean,
no
I'm
doubt
all
about
or
it.
nothing.
I think the whole team.
I'm all or nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we know that.
It's totally real.
That type of passion existed 20 years ago. Right. Maybe even, I think your passion, even other members of our team, just in our business, I think a lot of us are even more passionate today than we were 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's contagious. Sometimes I feel guilty about it because I see how passionate they are.
Well, because of the belief system, right? That vision, that belief system, I think we all, have.
One thing that I'm not is a hypocrite.
No, that's for sure. That's for sure.
And, I think the greatest sin in life is to be a hypocrite. But, the only thing that has changed is I will hold my breath and not overreact as quickly as I might have.
Do you think meditation and yoga has helped
definitely.
that?
That's the thing that keeps me centered.
Right. Well, good for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to start selling. I'm just telling.
So, JR, thinking about yourself, if there were a movie that was created about you, what actor do you think would play
JR? I definitely know that. Jamie Foxx.
That's a good. I didn't expect
Jamie
that.
Foxx for sure.
Right.
Because he's got the mentor.
Right.
I don't know. Like Mark Wahlberg has my mannerisms. Some people say he stole my 6-pack.
Right.
But he's a good one. I mean, Pacino has the passion.
Right.
That I have, but I don't know. I mean,
that's a good one. I think Jamie Foxx is a great choice.
Yeah,
I think he'd play you pretty well.
Right.
And maybe win another Academy Award. Maybe that's the next Academy Award.
Next Ray.
Right. So, a couple more questions, then we have to go to a commercial break, JR. But
how much should we get for commercials?
We get the prices are skyrocketing. What's the biggest obstacle that you think entrepreneurs face, not just in this country, but just in general around the world? What do you think that maybe the biggest obstacle is for an entrepreneur?
Well, I mean, for me, it was that I didn't have any money. But that was probably a blessing, because a great misnomer is you don't need money. If you've got a great idea and you make it happen, it'll come.
Right.
But the other thing is people's preconceived notions, criticism, and discouragement. Constant battle for
Always.
anybody.
Yeah.
That's the big one. That's the big.
Got to keep the belief system, right? Keep the passion.
Right. I mean, you just can't. You got to listen to your own good thoughts.
Right.
And if other people can influence you with their discouragement, or their preconceived notion, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. You just have to listen to your own good thoughts and that innate insight that you have, that God gives you, and follow that. And then people are not going to tell you, yeah, that'll work. You know, they're going to tell you all the reasons it won't work. That's the big thing.
Well, that's why I love our business, because our business is all about helping others, right? To help themselves if they're willing to help
Well,
themselves.
that's what I love
what
about it. That's why I'm in love.
Yeah, yeah. One more quick question, then we're going to go to a commercial.
More?
One more, yeah, one more. Of course, you know, we like to stay on the cutting edge of new technologies, right? New advancements. You know, we're always looking for ways to make ourselves more efficient, more effective, right? More result producing. What technology do you think will be most impactful over the next 5 years?
I mean,
you know,
this is such a. It depends on how you want to break it down.
Yeah, I mean,
the bottom line is the digital age has changed everything. It has allowed the average person to do what it would take hundreds of millions of dollars to do, because of the aggregation of the permutations that you need to do what you want, and being able to reach unlimited people. All you have to do is have a great idea and go at it. I mean, the playing field is leveled. So for me, I want an economic factor in there. I know that everybody has to shop. So if I can find a way that everybody uses their shopping and aggregate that buying to make market, to control prices, to generate income, I can change the economy. And I know it's an idea ahead of its time, but it's an idea whose time has come.
that's true, and we're making it happen.
And yeah, it's going to work because we're going to make it work, because we have the ability to work, because we have collective buying power.
Right, right.
We have power.
We do.
Okay.
And the tracking system.
Did I say that
You
before
did.
to everybody?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
In the tracking
Yeah,
system.
you did.
The tracking system allows you to aggregate all the different permutations, okay, to be able to leverage the, the suppliers. And, really, it allows you to create or control your own economy. You want me to give a seminar?
And that's perfect right there. So let's take a quick commercial break and be right back with the Andrew Weissman Show. Thank you.
Introducing VivoQuin. VivoQuin supports immune function and respiratory health and offers a synergistic formulation of a triglyceride form of omegas and thymoquinones, as well as supporting the body's natural defenses. VivoQuin, available on shop.com.
My superpower? That I'm a woman.
My voice is my superpower.
This is my superpower.
This is my superpower. This is my superpoder.
And welcome back to the Andrew Weissman Show. We're here with the founder, president, and CEO of Market America Worldwide and Shop.com, Mr. J.R. Ridinger. Thank you again for joining us. We have a lot of viewers that are on the line here, and we just wanted to say hi. We have Tony and Pam Bowling out there, Lou Manfredi's out there, J.R. Lauren's watching, my father, Marty Weissman's watching,
These are
Michelle
my favorite
Molinaro.
people.
There's some great people, right? Ryan Stacks watching. So, hey, everybody, glad you're online with us and tuning in. A question did come in before I go into the next segment, which is a new segment on the Andrew Weissman Show. We have a question from Lauren. She popped a question for you, right? And that question is, what is the one thing that your wife does on a daily basis that you love?
Make love to me.
I know she's cracking up right now.
Okay, so that's a start.
Right.
Today or in the past?
Well, you have to ask her, but I guess
Today,
every
every
day.
day. Right now, she gets Aiden and brings Aiden to me and her, so we have a cool time because he's a rock star.
There you go.
But the other thing is she makes sure that everybody's okay.
That's for sure. She worries about everything.
There's no time left for me because she's making sure everybody is okay.
Right.
Or finding out what's not okay. And she puts everybody first, so that kind of makes it easier for me.
Well, you used to be first, but now after Amber you came second, now Aiden third, now Ava fourth. You keep moving down the totem.
I keep moving down. Plus, she has all types of people that depend on her, like Jennifer Lopez or whatever, for advice, and she's just the greatest friend in the world.
No, she's the best. Thank you for the question. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but Lauren is a Wonder Woman. There's nobody like her. There'll never be another one.
Yep.
And I'm a lucky guy.
Yeah. Once again, congratulations. So now we have a new segment on the Andrew Weissman Show. I think it's only appropriate to do it with you for the first time. It's called Would You Rather.
We're already at that point?
We're at that point, yeah. It's a good point to do this. It's called Would You Rather. So I'm just going to ask you a quick question. You just give me a nice, short, quick response, right? And I think everybody's going to enjoy this segment.
You do understand that successful, affluent people don't have to either or.
Right, that's what this is right.
But I don't have to either or. I might throw you a curveball.
Oh, no, we're not. This is not the Andrew's ad libs we'll do at the very end. Okay, but this is Would You Rather. Here we go, JR.
Would you rather?
Would you rather have the superpower to fly or to read minds?
Read minds.
Me too.
Why? Because
why?
flying is only to get there faster. If you can read their minds, you can already solve it before you get there.
Yes, you got it. That's good. All right, would you rather sightsee in Europe or have a relaxing vacation?
Sightsee in Europe.
You didn't see what
Because I already know that Europe is more interesting than any other thing. What was it? Not going to be Asia, was it?
No.
What was it?
It was. I like what you said though. Other than a relaxing vacation in the Caribbean.
I've already
done
done
that.
that. I do that all the time. By the way, it's all the same.
Okay, so that's good.
Well,
no, it's great. Would you rather have no internet or no cell phone?
It depends on how long it is that I'm not going to have it.
Oh, okay. Let's say for like unlimited time. You wouldn't
forever?
Yeah, forever.
Well, then it would be the cell phone. But if it was a short period of time, it'd be the cell phone because I can text and call. But if it was a long period of time, it would be the internet.
Good one. Would you rather go back and...
Get that right?
Yeah, it's the right answer. All right, so would you rather go back and meet your ancestors? Would you rather go back and meet your ancestors or go way in the future and meet your great-grandchildren?
My great-grandchildren. I already know my ancestors. That's history.
Good logic there. Would you rather have more time? I think I know the answer to this one. Would you rather have more time or more money?
You wrote the question.
I know that one.
Listen. I mean, it's a fair question. It's a fair question.
Yeah, I'm glad it's fair.
Everybody usually says money, and I remember the time that I wanted to borrow money. I don't want to borrow money anymore. I want to borrow time. You can't borrow time. So I can understand that when you're broke, you want the money.
Sure.
Because you don't have any time. But I got the money now because I spent the time to get it. And now the most valuable commodity is time, and I hate people that waste my time.
Yep. That I know. Yeah, right. That much I know. Two more. Would you rather be able to rewind your life or be able to pause your life?
Well, it depends if when I rewound it, if I knew what I knew now. You know, is that the case? Because
yeah, we'll go with that. Thank you, Anthony.
oh, that's how you're cheated by youth. So I would be cheating youth. I would be able to take what I know now and move back and be, you know,
Even better.
yeah, I would accomplish an awful lot very quickly.
Last one. Would you rather be a wizard or a ninja?
I already am a ninja, so a wizard. I'm a wizard ninja.
A ninja who's a wizard. Okay, great.
A wizard ninja.
All right, so JR, thank you. Yeah, that's great.
Did you make up that question?
Originality is always concealing your source, JR.
That's a good one.
All right, so a couple more questions, JR. Where, obviously, we're in our 23rd, almost 24th year of business. You're the visionary. Where do you see Market America 20 years from now?
I mean, when I say this, I don't like to say it because people, look, remember 20 years ago when we started, what I told people we would be, nobody believed, and they think I'm crazy or whatever, but it is a reality today. But of course, it took me 20 years to get in position to do what I thought I'd be doing back then.
Right, it makes sense.
So it's kind of just starting now,
just the beginning.
at least for me. So where it's going to be in 20 years, Market America will be the way or the medium through which any average person can become economically free through the shopping annuity. That isn't preaching to try to get people to believe. The factual reality of what we can do with the digital world and what we have makes it possible because everybody's spending their money.
Yep.
Regardless
of the state of the economy, I know.
We're using our spending in a collective manner in order to create our freedom. It gives us the power to be in charge rather than the economic establishment in the economy. Right. We are the ones that do all the buying.
Right, right.
And there's never been a system to allow you to harness that and turn it back on them. I'm passionate. I believe in this thing.
No, I think it's, there's a new commercial that came out, JR, and we showed the video at our last conference, and it had Katie Couric and Bryant Gumbel wondering what this email was, and trying to figure out, when she even asked, what is the internet? And I think that's kind of analogous to the shopping annuity now.
Exactly.
We're just now figuring out, 20 years later, it's going to just change, that's why it can really change the world, much of the internet has a lot, to change the world.
Everybody hears about it, and they hear our speeches and our pontifications and our seminars, and they get calluses on their ear. It goes in one ear and out the other. Think about it. Just sit and think about it. Think about the way things are and why they are, and what this actually does. And you might get it, but it's dangerously powerful.
I agree. I'm with you. So over the years, now obviously we have incredible, really life-changing products. I just curious to know, what's one of your favorite products that you've used personally and why?
Well,
I know we use a lot.
First of all, I'm a product junkie.
Right.
I mean, it's like the reason we have cosmetics is Lauren was using something else. I said, why are you using that? She said, because I like it more than, this is this. And I said, well, then you make your own cosmetics that are better than that.
Right.
So that's one of the neat things about us. Every product that we make is better than what's out there. Now that sounds self-serving. That sounds like self-edifying or a commercial. Hey, when somebody else comes out with a product, if it doesn't move and they don't spend hundreds of millions of dollars branding it, they never know why. Mm-hmm. Nobody buys it, that's all. But when we come out with a product, we have 160,000 voices telling us what's right or what's wrong with it, and we got to make it right and better and better. So I'm addicted to our products because they really are better. I'm a junkie.
Yeah.
I mean, I take 50 pills a day. You know it, right?
Your cocktail,
I take all types of cocktails because I like to be sharp, bright, and my favorite product is Snap.
The shop cloth?
The shop cloth, you know how I feel about that miracle cloth. I demonstrate it to everybody, but you know, but the whole snap line.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to get me to.
No, we'll get started on that, but I'm with you. I'm with you. Let's think about some life.
That's boring, isn't it?
No, it's not boring. It's good. Let's think about some life lessons. What's the most valuable life lesson that you've learned?
Wow. Again, I mean, I'm going to say this, but nobody is going to understand it or believe it. But the bottom line is you become what you think about. I see it in other people that make it. I have experienced it in my life over and over and over and over again. And of course, what happens is people say, well, you know, I'm thinking about it, but it ain't happening. I mean, when I was younger, I thought about girls all the time. I didn't become a girl, but I got a nice one. You know, it's kind of funny. But you will attract it. And people have trouble believing in that. They think that their circumstances, you know, control where they're at, but they think that way. And Andrew, I'm going to tell you, it's dangerous.
Yep.
I tell them, please don't think about any more real estate.
I think you were thinking about something earlier.
But it's actual miracle of life. And I spend a lot of time trying to get people to understand it. But unfortunately, you don't really believe it until you experience it.
Amen.
So the only reason I'm here and somebody is lower than that is because that's where they think.
Yep, it's your thinking.
Okay, well, you know, it ain't a small thing.
No, it's a big thing. It's huge. It's huge. So how, you know, people measure success in different ways, right? And on the surface, a lot of people would measure success, like you mentioned before, you know, with cars, boats, houses, this, that. But how do you measure success?
It's two things. One, passionately pursuing your dream or what you love to do. I can't imagine doing what I don't love to do. I would quit. I did quit 30 years ago.
Right, yeah.
And secondly, it's being able to do whatever you want to do when you want to do it and not having to do what you don't want to do if you don't want to do it.
And with who you want to do it with and where you want to do it, right?
That's success.
There you go. There you go. I love it. What's been your a couple more questions, Jared, then we're going to wrap this up with Andrew's ad libs, which I know you're looking forward to.
We've already gone a half hour?
So listen, what...
Sell some more commercials.
What's been the greatest reward so far in your life?
Well, without a doubt, I mean, the greatest reward from the business. You mean?
Or it could be personally. It doesn't have to be either way, personally or business related.
Well, I mean, I think this is true for everybody. Making it when everybody said that I couldn't.
Right.
But I get my my psychic income, my juice, from seeing other people succeed.
That's the beautiful part of our business, right? And every day, every week, every month, every year, new people are achieving that.
The other thing that when I think about, when I started, nobody knew what I was doing. Mark was wet behind the ears. Lauren, you know, would sleep to noon, and then, you know, but she did irritate me into starting a business. Yeah. To see them evolve into what they've evolved into, whew,
yeah, it's amazing.
Because they're better than me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's very special. It's awesome. Challenges. We talked about challenges before. What's been a challenge, maybe the biggest challenge you can think of in your life that you were confronted with, and then what did you do to overcome it?
Oh, well, you know, there's a lot of them, but the biggest general thing, I mean, you get surprised. You get calamities that come up, things that could have taken you down. But generally, the biggest thing to overcome was the stigma that we were multi-level or direct sales or something like that, and when we were not. And that this was a revolutionary idea. And the number of people that don't want you to make it. Mm-hmm. You know,
and like you said before, I mean, everybody's looking to take you down. Nobody's really encouraging you or supporting you, but you had to overcome that.
This is a funny one. This really is I mean, this is not. I answered the question.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Can I digress?
You certainly can.
One of
yeah.
the things that fascinates me about life in America is that the American dream is to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and make it. Isn't that the truth? Oh man, you know, you can like come from nothing and make yourself rich or make yourself independent. You can create something that's phenomenal, and that's the rock star, right? Isn't that kind of like what people think?
Yes, I would say yes.
The funny thing is, when you make it and you get there, you ain't a rock star. You're a demon. And everybody is saying, look at that rich bastard. I mean, to me, I'm still shocked by it. Because you got the money and they don't. It don't matter that you started out with none.
Right.
You got it and they don't got it and they want some of it. And hey, you got it, man. There's just such a hypocrisy in that. The funny thing is, I've never seen anybody with it that wanted to give it back. To get rid of
you even got the T-shirt.
stigma.
I haven't seen you wear the T-shirt.
But it's just funny. I mean, I know that everybody that hasn't made it, I mean, this is true all the way down into the hood. If you got $50 and another guy don't, he steals it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get a little higher up. I mean, people sue you. They shortchange you. It's just the have-lesses take from the have-mores because it's survival of the fittest, and it's just the way it is. And it's a little hurts, but you get over it, and you're not going to go back. So you become tough. You become tough, and you grow to expect it. But anybody that's made it has experienced that. That's the hypocrisy of the American dream. Everybody should go after it, but once you get it, the IRS wants your ass. I mean, everybody wants it. Everybody is.
You become a rich bastard.
But it's still better to make it than not make it.
No question.
It's
No
better
question.
to be shooting at that guy, being that guy and being shot at. It's like any championship team.
Yeah.
Anybody who's number one in their sport, everybody wants to knock them off.
They're going
right?
after him. Yep.
So-
They're going after him. Let's think about Lauren for a minute. Let's go back to Lauren. What do you think of a quick memorable moment you had with Lauren?
Oh, come on. I mean, there's a memorable moment every day. She's full of surprises.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to come out of her mouth. I mean, memorable moments is when she picked me up. I mean, that was a shock. And tricked me into being with her.
Now, she'll say that otherwise, but I believe you. She picked you up. I believe that.
Do you think that I can pick her up?
No comment.
Picked me up, okay, and tricked me, moved in. The second one was when she caused me, from her belief and challenging me to start the business, but she made me perfect. She was much better than me, and when we had Amber.
There you go.
But there's a magic moment every day with her. She,
Superwoman. Think about a memorable moment from your childhood. Can you think of a memorable moment that
I had a
kinda
great
sticks out?
childhood. Listen, one of the things that makes me feel guilty is when I see people that have bad parents or split marriages or things go wrong. I didn't have anything wrong, so I have no excuse not to be great.
Yeah.
But my father was a football coach and a historian and teacher. We went to every battlefield, Revolutionary War and Civil War in the United States, and I am not exaggerating.
I believe you.
And it was like a road trip, Chevy Chase, and it was great. It was great. I mean, I loved it. I mean, I didn't know Boy Scouts. Man, I mean, I don't care what you think. We had some of the greatest experiences, and the things that I got out of that have carried with me, throughout life. And of course, I don't know what you mean though. I'm still a child.
Kid at heart.
Yeah, I'm a child right now. So is my childhood still running?
There you go. I guess it is. I guess it is. But a couple of things that people might not realize, that you were an Eagle Scout, right? You're an Eagle Scout, and tell me, I think I heard this a while back, that from kindergarten through high school, you didn't miss one day of school. Is that true?
That's true. I mean, I liked school. When I was sick, I snuck out. I took the thermometer and stuck it in ice water. You know, I could go.
So
I was an operator, you know.
when you're
I was
sick, you
hustling.
stuck out of your house and went to school. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So
Did you do that?
I didn't do that, but I had a very good attendance record. I enjoyed school as well. I wasn't have a perfect record from kindergarten to high school, but I was good. I was good. So a couple more quick questions, JR, and then we can go to the ad libs.
I wasn't a nerd though. I was a hustler.
Right, I didn't say
I
you
was
were a
like
nerd.
running the joint,
I didn't say
you
you were a
know?
nerd. Anthony said that. You can get him later. So whether they're unfranchised owners just establishing and getting their business started, or just entrepreneurs in general, what would be like one piece of advice you tell them, you'd give them?
Sorry, there's three.
Okay.
Okay. Identify something that you either don't like, that you need to eliminate from your life, or something that you really want. And if you can do that, figure out how it will happen in the business exactly.
Yep.
Because just wanting it and not knowing how the business is going to deliver it, it isn't going to work.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is do it with somebody that's really good. Hook up with somebody that's really good. Mm-hmm. And because everybody wants people who are on board as a teammate.
Sure.
So it doesn't matter lines of sponsorship or whatever. Surround yourself with people that are really good at it, because you will, by osmosis, absorb it. Really important. And finally, every single day, do some of the little things. I mean, the one I always like to use is make a list of 100 people in the getting started guide. Make a list of 100 people, you have a couple meetings, you got a great upline, you get 2 people in, oh, I'm activated. And then you stop talking to people.
Right.
You would promise to go through 100. Two a week times 52 weeks is 104, you got 4 extra. It's that little thing. That little thing. It's not doing a whole lot and a whole little. It's doing little things every single day. Do you realize that I've listened to an audio for every day of my life for 40 years?
Yeah, I do know this.
Yeah.
I do know this.
So
I
I
mean,
stole a lot
Bobby
of
might not
material.
realize that, but yes.
So I mean, I'm tough to beat.
Yeah, you're programmed.
Tough to,
aren't
that's
you?
right,
You
exactly.
brainwashed
I
to be
brainwashed
successful.
myself.
So let's a few more things here. We've gone over time, but I think it's okay, right? We can go over time.
they can always click
it's
off, you
fantastic.
know.
No, yeah, but
We're having a nice conversation.
No, the audience continues to build. What is your favorite? Do you have a favorite film, favorite movie?
Oh man. Okay. Well, The Godfather definitely is in there. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is definitely one of my favorites because it reminds me of the business. Of course, Rocky. Believe it or not, The Wizard of Oz. But the best of all is, what's the one with the guy in jail?
The Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. That's,
Excellent movie.
That's one of the best. That's probably the best.
Definitely
movie
in my
ever.
top 5 as well.
Huh?
What about books? Favorite book?
Atlas Shrugged, Sid Arthur, The Crucible. Of course, all of the scriptural things, the Bible, the Torah, the Vedas, which I studied.
You studied
I went
religion.
to-
I remember, yeah.
But once you study them and know that, then these other books become, really cool. Did you hear those books?
I heard them, yeah. No, yeah.
What
I've
were
heard them
they?
before. You said The Crucible, the Atlas Shrugged,
Sid Arthur.
Sid Arthur, yeah. Favorite place on earth that you've actually
Home.
traveled to? Home. Very
Home,
good.
and home is wherever I go because we have a digital office, and I would hate to be required to name one place. It's just sinful. It's hypocritical. There's a lot of beautiful places.
You've always said variety is the spice of life. I've heard you say that a number of times.
You kind of took the words right out of
Well,
my
I thought you-
Variety is the spice. See, how many people their whole life live in one town and never leave it? And they go to their parents or their relatives for holidays and vacation, and they never even venture out. I mean, one of the great discoveries of affluence, of becoming affluent and independent in the business, is you don't have to live in one place. You can live in many places. Right. And what a treat that is. And, so I want everybody to experience that.
What about your favorite band?
Van
I know you're
Halen,
kind of a rock and roller.
Dreams, I'll Wait for You. Of course,
Van Halen.
I'm a Springsteen head.
Bruce
too,
Springsteen. Got it. You have a favorite sports team?
Duke.
Very good. All right. And do you have a favorite actor or actress?
Well, it's like sports teams. For instance, every team that I vote for ends up becoming bad and losing, except Duke. That's why they're my favorite. But, I've been through the Miami thing, the Eagles thing, the Knicks thing. But I tend to be for the team that my friend is on. And somehow in my collection,
You got a few of them.
Yeah, Melo Anthony. If he moves, I'm still with him. Tony Parker. These are my friends.
Right.
So I'm rooting for my friends more than a team. But a New York franchise gets in your blood. A Miami franchise, you're there when they're winning, but when they're losing, you're gone.
So, JR, a couple last questions. If you could spend 1 hour speaking with anyone from history, whether they're dead or currently alive, who would it be and what would you discuss with them?
I do that. Well, first of all, that would be Jesus Christ and what is the Holy Trinity. But I have a board of directors.
Oh boy, here we
My
go.
board of directors, and I meet with them regularly, and I think, what would they say? And they talk to me. Martin Luther King, Gandhi, Jobs, Gates, Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, Richard Branson, Winston Churchill, Albert Einstein, and Thomas Edison are on my board of directors.
That's a hell of a board. That's a hell of a board.
Yeah, well, I have access to them.
Excellent. So, JR, 2 more questions, okay?
You can ask as many as you
I
want.
know.
They're just going to shut us down.
I know. Do you have? You've named a lot of people there, and maybe this is a question that you can just go through your board of directors. But a role model? What's the most influential role model that's been in your life?
Actually, I'm not one to become dependent on people as role models because I know I have to follow my own thinking and that combined. But actually, like role models for me are like Mark Ashley, Lauren Reitinger, you a little bit.
I'm getting there.
Because the people that pick it up and demonstrate what you believe in, sometimes that's more powerful than, because you're going to learn everything you can learn from everybody, but when you go to implement it, not having any other people that believe it to do it as well or better than you. So, like if you're a field vice president in the field, how much do you admire those people that did it?
Big time.
Big
time.
So that's, for me, Elizabeth Weber is a goddess.
Yeah.
Tony Bowling,
Yep.
Frank Kiefer. These people believed when there was nothing to believe in.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, no, that's a great answer. Jared, we have a lot of people sending in questions, and the most asked question, and I feel it only appropriate to ask it, how do you like being a grandpa?
Well, first of all, I'm Pop Daddy, okay? Let's get that straight. I don't like this grandfather stuff, but boy, I'll tell you one thing. I never thought, everybody says this, and everybody says, oh, being a grandparent is great. You look at my grandkid is better than yours. Just get that straight, He is a little rock star. He's bright, he's beautiful. His mother is a dictator, but she was born to be a mother. She's the greatest mother in the world, Amber. But this little kid, he's going to be something special. And he loves Mimi, that's Lauren, and Pop Pop.
That's you.
That's me, but he can't say Pop Daddy.
Yeah, he'll soon be able to say it.
He'll get it.
He's just now getting ready to start. Words are starting to come out.
Okay.
Mr. Pop Daddy.
Who asked that question?
I'm not sure.
It had to be a grandparent.
I'm not sure. A lot of people have. And one more question I want to ask you, and then I'll ask my last question, then we'll go to the ad-libs. So the shopping annuity is going crazy right now. A lot of momentum. It's building. Social media. People are increasing their incomes. And it's so obvious. What took so long for people to get it?
Well, if you really think about it, and after we get into business and we get going, we stop thinking and we start doing, and we fall into a pattern, don't we? I mean, can we admit that? I mean, think about it. And we're creatures of habit. So we didn't have it. And, if you think about all the things that I would bring up, you always thought I was nuts. Every convention, a new thing. They were all pieces of it. But I didn't have them all at once.
Together.
But this was what I originally envisioned, to do. What was the question?
No, what took so long? I guess that's a
Well,
big
what
point. It's all
took
come
so
together,
long
right? So all the
was-
pieces of the
right.
puzzle have been put together now.
I thought that we could do technology-wise what, I couldn't do it myself, so we had to rely on others. It's been a long learning curve.
Well, the acquisition of shop.com, the continuous
Right.
evolution of the business, more products, everything put together now makes the shopping annuity a reality.
Yeah,
Well, if you could
yeah.
go back in time, 23, 24 years, right? Obviously, the company is hitting record levels, more people are earning more money, new levels of success being achieved. Would you do anything differently?
Not much. I would have gone a different avenue on technology, but the past is the past. We're there now, but that was the struggle. That I was not a computer programmer or an IT engineer. People say, "What would you be if you weren't a CEO of this company?" I would be an IT programming genius, wizard, ninja. But unfortunately, I don't think that would be a wise use of my time because it takes a few years to get there. But
Right.
that would be what I would do.
All right, Jared, the time has come
To quit?
for Andrew's ad libs.
Okay,
Andrew's ad libs.
here we
Then
go.
we can wrap up. So here we go. So
Have I done well?
you've done. I think.
Did
you've
I
done
ruin
you've
your
been-
show with
No,
all
not
my
at all. I think you've
pontification?
actually enhanced the show. We have more and more people continuing to join in. I think we're going to have record ratings.
Do they know that I'm
more
such a
advertising? Listen, I can't speak for them, but apparently a lot of good questions are coming through. So here we go. Andrew's ad
The
libs.
reason I'm funny
Yeah.
is because I have to amuse myself, or I would get so frustrated that I would quit.
Well, we
So
don't
I
want
make
you
a
to
joke
quit.
out of everything.
Well,
You
good.
ever notice
I'm
that?
glad you're a comedian.
I learned that from your dad.
So here we go. Right? Ready? Here we go. Andrew's ad libs. Reagan or Clinton?
Reagan. I like Clinton though. We're friends. I've met him a few times, but it would have to be Reagan.
I agree. All right. No wrong answer, by the way. You don't have to feel bad. You know what I mean? It's all good.
Yeah, but Clinton feels bad
Okay,
because
well-
I'm friends with him.
Yeah. Well, it's true. He may actually be watching, but if not, there'll be video on demand. Yachting or flying?
Yachting.
Italian or Chinese?
Chinese.
Mexican or sushi?
Mexican or sushi?
Which would you know?
Sushi, because I don't want to get fat. I already am a little.
Sun or ski?
Ski.
Paris or Aspen?
Aspen.
Bon Jovi or Bruce Springsteen?
I like them both, but Springsteen.
New York or Miami?
Miami.
Uptown or downtown?
Downtown.
Yoga or biking?
Yoga.
Lincoln or Washington?
Lincoln.
Skydiving or bungee
You're
jumping?
supposed to ask me why.
No. These are just quick.
Skydiving or bungee? Skydiving.
Your favorite go-to rock song?
Dreams by Van Halen.
Name one thing people will always identify with you.
The hamster wheel. Or my Jack Nicholson glasses.
Are you team Bill Gates or team Steve Jobs?
Team Steve Jobs, but I hate to say that because they were both. I wonder what would happen if they were on the same team. Would it have been as great without their competition? Because they were both genius. But Jobs is my.
I go Steve Jobs.
Yeah, I'm a Jobs.
Your favorite ice cream flavor?
A strawberry.
One thing you can't live without?
Love.
If you weren't CEO of Market America, you would be
I would be a IT engineer.
Your favorite city outside of Miami?
New York.
Favorite era you would have liked to have lived in?
I was the hippie era.
Rolling Stones or Beatles?
It's a really rough call, Andrew. It's like, it's like if you
Don't
go
worry,
with
they're not
one,
gonna-
you
You can
okay,
say
I'll
both.
Beatles.
Oh, go Beatles. All right. I know this one. Alejandro Sanz or Ricky Martin?
Alejandro Sanz. I mean, there's no comparison.
All right. I agree. If Monday were an ice cream, what flavor would it be?
Pistachio.
Oh, I love pistachio. That's my
You love
favorite. That's my
Mondays.
favorite. Snapchat or Instagram?
Instagram.
Hulk Hogan or John Cena?
Hulk Hogan.
Scrambled or fried?
Fried if they're sunny side up and not overdone.
Football or soccer?
Football. Why? Because I know it better. I know soccer is some
Yeah, a little bit. Pizza or beer?
beer.
New York or Los Angeles?
New York.
Congratulations, you finished the Andrew.
Did I get an A?
You did an A plus. Did you get an A plus?
So see you at the top.
With that, looking forward to the next Andrew Weissman show. Stay tuned to social media so you'll learn about the next guest and the next time of broadcast. Have a great evening, and thanks for tuning in.